Last fall, the U.S. military reinstituted mandatory vaccination against anthrax for America's armed services for troops likely to be deployed overseas. But many service members question whether any country actually has weaponized anthrax, and they worry that the real enemy is the vaccine itself. The exclusive story of one service member who has refused the anthrax vaccine and the controversy over its safety is tonight's Weekend Journal.
I'm more worried about this vaccine than I'm worried about bullets.
Stationed overseas in a combat unit, this soldier told CBS News he refused the mandatory series of 6 shots after military buddies who got them died. Nor does he believe there is a real threat of an anthrax attack on U.S. troops.
I've never, in my military career, ever seen anybody come in contact with anthrax. I've never seen anybody taken from the battlefield because of anthrax. I just do not see the legitimacy in the anthrax shot.
He asked CBS not to reveal his identity in order not to further aggravate the commanders who will decide his future. After 15 years in the military, he could be court-martialed.
I think my career is over. I mean, I've pretty much came to that conclusion that my career is going to be over no matter what.
I've been diagnosed with chronic fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue.
Former Navy man Luis Hernandez says there is cause for concern. A 51-year-old New Yorker, he says he got sick after getting 4 anthrax vaccine shots in 2003 and was finally discharged from the military last month.
I have a cyst in my head. I have white matter stuff in the front of my skull.
Hernandez's medical records list symptoms including migraines, cognitive dysfunction, and chronic joint and muscle pain. He says Veterans Administration doctors told him he had a mystery illness. Now he's participating in a new study of the effects of the anthrax vaccine conducted by the Vaccine Healthcare Center, a little-known department at Walter Reed Army Medical Center.
They told me that the symptoms that I had, they had noted in other service members that had anthrax vaccines, and they just didn't know the remedy, how to fix this.
Anthrax vaccination for members of the military first became mandatory in 1998, though in 2004 a federal court halted the involuntary vaccinations, saying the vaccine had not been properly approved by the FDA. The FDA gave final approval to the vaccine in 2005, and last fall the Defense Department announced the resumption of the mandatory program. According to the Pentagon, some 1.5 million service members have received the shots.
We know that anthrax is deadly, and it's potentially that they could be exposed.
Colonel Randall Anderson, director of the Military Vaccine Agency, says the vaccination program is essential.
We have a licensed vaccine. I think that we deserve it to our service members to protect them.
And defense officials say while there are side effects, the vaccine is safe.
All the different independent committees that have looked at this vaccine have said the anthrax vaccine is as safe as any other safe vaccine.
But the Government Accountability Office says that's impossible to say because the vaccine's long-term safety has not been investigated and data on short-term reactions are limited. The GAO says that 84% of vaccine recipients experience adverse reactions. And even material by the Institute of Medicine given to CBS News by Colonel Anderson says the vaccine is reasonably safe but relatively crude by current standards and calls urgently for a new and modernized vaccine. And the manufacturer's own insert in the vaccine warns of deaths associated with it. The Pentagon says it is not aware of any fatalities. No deaths?
No deaths associated with this anthrax vaccine.
Still, this soldier is asking one thing of his country, good science to protect him and his comrades, not just a shot in the dark.
There's been more complications from the anthrax vaccine than there has been from anthrax contact. I mean, that is fact. So, I don't see what justification they have for making this mandatory.
And a personal disclosure, at the beginning of the Iraq War, I was one of dozens of journalists embedded with American forces, in my case, the 4th Infantry Division. I received the anthrax vaccination and did not have any adverse reactions. Up next on tonight's CBS Evening News, royal breakup, hopes of a royal marriage dashed by word that wills won't